This is the Perfect Being. I'm here to tell you all to subscribe to the perfect channel, Unreal End Gaming. Please remember to turn on your notifications to be the first to know about the latest in Dragon Ball news and information. And if you don't, very soon you will all be dead, along with your entire planet.
Dragon Ball Super Episode 103 is now officially in the history books as we move on forward into Dragon Ball Super Episode 104, and here to discuss our overall thoughts and predictions going into next week's episode is my good friend Emish's Live, as we have a lot to talk about in pertains to Super Saiyan God Goku, Hit, Dispo, and the other Pride Troopers. And again, if you guys have any comments to add or opinions of your own to share, then feel free to go on ahead and drop your thoughts down in the comment section below. Emish, welcome back to the channel. Super Saiyan God is back. You actually recently just made a live stream discussion talking about Super Saiyan God and pretty much giving your overall thoughts as to why it should be introduced, why it shouldn't be introduced, and now we finally have it be introduced in next week's episode, and we see it being utilized against the Pride Troopers, in specific Dispo. And I wanted to get your thoughts right off the bat, and because there's a lot to talk about here, and I highly encourage you guys to watch through the entire video because there is going to be a lot to say. So my first question right off the bat is, do you believe that, judging based on the preview, that Dispo is the only one that's going to be giving Hit a definitive run for his money and preventing him in using time skip, or do you believe that his friend, the Frog Pride Trooper, has something to do with pretty much momentarily holding off Hit with some sort of technique or substance, which allows the Sonic Warrior Dispo to get his shots in? Because you get to see clearly based on the preview that Hit is really battle damaged. He looks tired, and there was even one shot where he's right by the edge of the ring. So do you believe that it's because of Dispo alone, or is it because of the help of his friend that they're wearing out, Hit to the point where he may be ringed out? What do you think?
Well, of course, I'm gonna say I don't think it's Dispo alone.
Right.
Yeah, based on, if you want to go just based on spoiler information, or if you want to go based on obviously what's being showcased in the previews, they show Hit battle damage first. Then as the previews progress, they show scenes prior to him actually getting damaged from Dispo and the frog guy, right?
Right.
So, and this frog guy, whatever, I don't even know his name. I forgot. He has this he has this thing on the floor. It's got kind of like some ropes or something like that. It's kind of like a field of effect. It has, I guess, it either traps Hit, or it stalls him, or it slows him down. It does something. I imagine.
Like spider webs too, like when he shoots it at him.
Yeah,
him.
like little. Exactly. Then he's holding him, and on top of that, you have Dispo just like, well, I guess taking shots at him. So if that's the case, then okay, no problem. It's like, but Dispo himself, nah. Like, they just, unless he got some training in, like, unless they give us an explanation that maybe Dispo got stronger, maybe Dispo has an ability that's, that where he does well against fighters like this, and it's a different ball game. For example, like what we saw today, with what's his name? Obuni, I think his name is, or something like that.
Yes,
versus Gohan, and then we come to find out that Gohan's fighting style is pretty much feeling your internal energy, or exactly where you're going to be, or where you might potentially be, and then attacking that area. He doesn't so much use his eyes, right? Which is why sometimes he ends up letting his guard down and stuff like that. Because and we've seen this before, where Gohan will actually keep his back turned to you on purpose, then just turn around out of nowhere and just fucking block your shit, or do something. He did it against Super Buu. He did it against Cell. He did it recently. He did it. He's done it before. So with that, it's good that we got some kind of information regarding that. But that's a perfect example. So Obunu he even said, he said, I've been waiting for a warrior like you. And that feint attack, that's what I'm gonna call it, feint attack, because I play like, as of recently I've been playing like competitive Pokemon here, here and there. There's an attack called feint attack, and it's the same exact thing, or feint. So it's the same exact thing, and it was an amazing ability, to be honest. I saw it and I was like, oh. And I just want to clarify that I know last week I said that I thought Gohan was fighting the Universe 6 in Namekian. It just, to me, like, I didn't, like, my eyes aren't like very good. I'm blind as fucking, this personally.
Yeah. So
like my initial reaction was, oh, I thought he was fighting that character, but this is before I knew what Obuni's ability was. So because
it looked like a bunch of after images to me, but he actually attacked him with that. Yeah. So it was a very unique move, but Gohan was actually able to trump that. So, and then with the preview,
it's a good comparison.
Yeah, and with the preview, we see like this guy, like the Pride Trooper, hold Hit off, and Hit looked very surprised. So what I'm guessing here is, I believe that, once again, going back to abilities and techniques, I think that this person, this Frog Pride Trooper, is gonna be the one to momentarily hold off Hit, while Dispo is the one getting all the shots in, because there's even a preview where we see Super Saiyan God Goku get kicked by Dispo, and a lot of people have been saying, well, everyone has been wanting to see Goku versus Beerus rematch, and we're probably not going to get that for either quite some time or maybe never. So this is the closest what we actually might get to. So with Dispo having to, you know, kind of get the hit on Goku, and we see Goku with this amazing shot where Dispo was looking like he was about to punch Goku, and like there's like this wall of fire in front of him. Do you think that Super Saiyan God Goku is on a comparative level to Dispo, or do you believe that Dispo isn't going to be anywhere near the caliber of Super Saiyan God Goku of what he is now?
You know what makes it hard to defend Goku in general is the idea that characters that we originally thought or would expect to not even hold the candle to Super Saiyan Blue, and we come to know that Super Saiyan Blue is actually stronger out of the gate than Super Saiyan God.
Right.
But then now you have to ask yourself, but with Goku reutilizing Super Saiyan God, and with him being stronger than he was in the Battle of God's Arc, not as a Super Saiyan God, but I'm saying his base now versus what his base back then was, is exponentially stronger. So you have to ask yourself, okay, well, out of the gate, how strong is Super Saiyan God? And on top of that, the last time we remember, and based on what we know, is Super Saiyan God is an actual deity form. Like it's a form based on you being an actual god.
Right.
So, and we know Goku isn't necessarily a god, but if he just made the power of a Super Saiyan God his own, then there was really no reason to introduce the entire form back. So unless, ironically enough, and I've seen this floating around on YouTube, and some people have mentioned as well, I also stumbled across it when I tried to put two and two together. Just, you know, once upon a time, it was by accident. Ironically, not counting Goku, there's actually 5 Saiyans in the tournament right now.
Right.
So if they try to pull that concept of like, you know, Gohan, Kaba, Vegeta.
Oh, they wouldn't dare.
No, of course. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
No,
but that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. And then maybe that's why, as a result of helping him tap into that power, you know, get that power or that form again, not the power, but the form, he ends up like helping hit, because Universe 6 technically helped him get that form back and stuff like that. But then it's like, that's a little too sketchy for me, because overall Super Saiyan God is an actual DT form. So nobody should be able to hold a candle to him. I don't care if Goku gets kicked and Goku just goes, but then it's like, why make it dramatic? I mean, I understand, you know, based on choreography, you have to make it look like these fighters are, you know, they're, I guess they're a force. Yeah, like they have some kind of, you know, some kind of force behind them and stuff, like some kind of presence, right? So, but it's interesting, man, and I agree with a lot of people saying that, well, Super Saiyan Blue has been made to look like shit as of recently, and now if Super Saiyan God comes out of the gate, just out of nowhere, out of the blue, no pun intended, and manages to at least, you know, based on the next week's episode, look like it's, you know, like it's outperforming Blue, based on what we've seen from Blue in this tournament, it's gonna be a problem. So, with that being said, it's like they have to make it look like Goku is going to get hurt, he's going to get hit, I don't agree with it, and I also don't like the concept of defending Goku at the same time, like, oh, his guard was down, or oh, his back was turned, he got caught off guard.
A lot. Even in this episode,
of course,
everyone was like, dude, he did it again, like, stop.
Yeah,
like, even Beerus, yo, look at the way Beerus was like, you know, reacting to everything Goku did. Even though it was reused animation, he was just like, yo, he keeps doing it, he keeps dropping his guard, stop. And even 17 was like, you know, try not to drop your guard, okay? And then he just flew off. And I was like, dude, it's like, he is. So, do you think that he's going to drop his guard against
Dispo?
Yeah.
Probably.
Is he?
That's what he does. He tends to do that. Okay. If you guys remember,
but it's not like he's really trying. That's the problem.
Well, no, I know that's the thing, and just like when I talked about on stream, and I said, listen, go in our last discussion. It was a video I did, quality of power versus quantity of power, right?
Yes.
And I talked about how Goku, or I think it was that one or another video that we did, discussing the concept of stamina, right? And I talked about how Goku thrives when he's put under pressure. You have to put him under pressure. Right now, he's not being put in that position, despite what's on the line, despite everything that he's supposed to be fighting for, despite him wanting to be the strongest fighter in the multiverse. He's not showcasing that. He's just showcasing that he just wants to fight, go straight for the strong guy and beat the strong guy, and thinking that puts him on top when he can barely survive the tournament on his own. You know what I'm saying? Which is what he's been trying to portray. In this episode, 17 helped him. Did Goku need the help? No. But they kind of portraying it that way, like, yo, Goku, like, can you stop fucking her? Like, listen, you're gonna get me knocked out. For trying to help you, you're gonna get me knocked off the ring. And it's a problem. So, you know, with that being said, it's like, it's interesting. It's difficult to defend Goku a lot of the time, which is why I stopped. I don't like to say he's suppressed. I don't like to say he's holding back. I don't like to say anything. I just call Goku, to me, like, I love Goku. I love his character. Obviously, he's an icon, and nobody can deny that. But it's safe to say, and obviously some people would disagree just for the sake of disagreeing, you know, but it's safe to say Goku, despite him not trying or not giving a fuck, it doesn't matter. You already knew what this tournament was when you walked into it. You knew what was on the line more than anybody else, okay? It was your idea to bring up and to remind Zeno about the tournament, and rightfully so, at the help, you know, at the plus to everybody else's expense, but only to make it difficult for your own team, and then you end up helping the other team instead, who's supposed to be an enemy, which I agree with to an extent, but it's like you're doing more for the other teams as opposed for your own. You know what I'm saying? So that's creating an issue, and this is where I feel like the tournament is, in Goku's case, he should just be banned from tournaments. Like, you know, I can we just get Oob? You know, can we? Can
I mean,
just
to Goku's
already?
defense,
You know?
to Goku's defense, I actually made a video talking about why he drops his guard, and the fact that it's very evident that he really is just having fun. Because even when he fought Rosie, he told her, "Hey, I'm studying your attacks and stuff," and he's clearly not being pushed to the point where he has to. But I am predicting that going into this episode, I don't think that Dispo, Hit, or Goku are going to get ringed out. I think that the Frog might go, and with that being said, I also feel as if, and if Dispo goes, I think it's just a little too early in my opinion, because I want to see Dispo do just a tad bit more, because we really haven't seen him do anything ever since like he was introduced fighting that plant monster, and even with that kind of gave him like a bad rep, I mean, because everyone was like, oh, he's not really doing nothing, like he just got caught by the plant monster and he was made to look stupid. So
if you remember, like a while back, we talked about their potential roles in the tournament a long time ago. Right. And I talked about how Dispo could be the potential supporting character for his team. Yeah. And granted that they lost, and this is why I say Universe 11 to me is not all that they're cracked up to be. They lost 5 characters in 1 episode. That's a big deal, especially based on first impressions. When you're watching a team, a universe that is being portrayed to house certain warriors. Like you had a warrior that can literally create a dimension of her own, which is similar to almost what Hit does, except she can like make it visible and shield her attacks from it and stuff like that. And
the barrier, right? Yeah.
The barrier, right? It's like they described it as her creating like her own dimension, so like they call it like dimension ball or something like that. I don't know, I forgot. And whatever. But you have these unique characters, and then they get fondled. You know, they just get bodied out of the ring. They get fondled out of the ring in literally an episode in a group of 5, which is a big deal, especially Kasparov, for example, who was, you know, who actually helped Dispo against that plant monster. And I still stand by that. Like, you could now, I mean, I guess now we have to, you know, defend Dispo, saying Dispo was suppressed, or Dispo was holding back and stuff like that. But I will accept it. See, here's the thing. I'll accept it if, you know, if Dispo is beating Hit with help, and then it depends on what the techniques are. Like, I accept that Dispo is fast. I just find it sketchy that he's either equivalent or more than what Goku was as a Kaioken times 10. That's what people are failing to understand. They're just quick to say, well, yeah, he is possible, Dispo. I'm like, no, it's not. I mean, are we just gonna shit on Hit? This is why I feel like they did a really poor job with Hit's character, is because there's just no respect value to him. He doesn't, despite what he's capable of, despite, like you, for example, you love him, right? I don't necessarily love him, but I can respect his character. I can respect the fact that he has, right now, but aside from Mirzamasu, there's nobody who has pushed Goku the way Hit did in the U67 tournament.
Right.
At that moment, I'm saying. So don't twist my words. It's at that moment he actually pushed Goku to that point where he actually had to utilize Kaioken, but times 10. Like, that's insane. And yes, it was fan service, but still, like, Goku committed himself to being that serious. That's insane. You know, that's going way beyond your limitations. And even though, yes, he was weaker back then, so when we hold on to what Hit is capable of, and then, for example, like how you raged, and I agreed with you then when they shit on Hit and how Hit was the one, you know, he fought Goku again, then all of a sudden Goku just bodied Hit.
When he came to Earth,
Right. So it's like Hit never redeemed himself after that. And now we haven't really seen Hit fight. And then the first time we see him fight in the tournament, he's getting bullied. To me, that's what I'm saying. You know, that's why, to me, it's like, come on. Like, Hit was, every time we do discussion, Hit is mentioned in every single one of our discussions in the Tournament of Power. Right. Every single time we talk about it,
because he is a very important character, right.
And people can't deny that. And in the comment section, you got people like just, I don't know, like, I'm not sure what, you know, they're getting offended with by me saying Dispo is fodder. Yeah, I'm gonna place him until I see something compared to Hit out of the gate, based because we know more about Hit than we do about Dispo. The last thing we saw from Dispo was, well, he was getting beat by a plant monster. He got hit by Nariyama. He didn't even support his crew as of lately. And yes, despite whether or not they're saving him, my point is the respect value for a character going into this tournament. Nobody in the comment section can deny that they wanted to see Hit fight. And the first time they're actually gonna see now, like an actual episode with him fighting, he's getting bullied. You see what I'm saying? And then Goku has to help him. The same dude who beat him. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of like Vegeta treatment, in my opinion.
Right.
So,
I think that's what makes things more intense, because at some given point, because here's the thing, watching that preview, I saw a lot of comments in my video where people were like, oh, it's over for Hit. But people tend to forget that there is a rematch between Vegeta and Hit brewing. Yeah. And there's also a rematch potentially with Goku and Hit once more. And I mean, who doesn't want to see that? Who doesn't want to see a legitimate rematch between the two? Because the first time really wasn't a rematch. He was just sent there to kill him. And after he killed him, it was like an half-ass fight. I'm sorry, that was a half-ass fight, in my opinion.
I agree. But here's the problem with rematches, though, Alex. When that highly anticipated character, through your perspective, is highly anticipated, you're excited, you were like, yo, what the fuck? Every time we got teased with Hit, and remember these past few episodes? Hit versus Jiren, Hit versus Vegeta. Then Hit ends up going into the shadows somewhere. And we're like, fuck, when are we gonna see Hit fight? Now we get an episode and he's getting bullied. And maybe we're wrong. Maybe the previews are just making it seem like he's in a tight spot, but then he just ends up thrashing everybody once he figures out everybody. That could happen. All I'm saying is, though, and I'm not making Hit to seem invincible. What I'm saying is, out of the gate, to hype up a rematch of any kind, you gotta give Hit some kind of spotlight consistently. Don't tease us and then give us an episode where he gets fucked up and then he needs Goku's help to defeat not even the strongest of Universe 11, being Toppo and Jiren. That's what's amazing about this. And then we talk about a Vegeta and Hit rematch, and then it's just like, well, I mean, the hype factor is not there for Hit anymore. You know what I'm saying?
But that's from a 1v1 standpoint. I mean, we're talking about two guys that have very different abilities, and abilities can go a very long way. Like, for example, the Kaioken ability was something that Hit wasn't able to register with until he was able to adapt. And after he adapted, he time skipped that. So yeah, you're right. Maybe at first he does get a little bodied until he figures out what to do, and then he bodies the both of them. And I don't think that Hit needs Goku's help. I can see Goku. This is all Goku. I can see Goku coming in and saying, yo, and just jumping in and helping him out just because he wants to help him out. And it's not in Hit's character to beg for help. It's in Goku's character. So I can see him getting involved, and Hit's like, I don't need your help. And I can see Goku talk about, well, if me and you want to fight, I need you in here. So it's like, I can't afford to get you ringed out. So I definitely feel as if the Frog dude's gonna go. If both of them go, if Dispo and the Frog guy get ringed out, I'm not gonna have too much of a problem with it, because you already know what's coming next. But I just want to see Dispo at least battle someone like Gohan, Dispo battling Frieza, Dispo battling someone other than just one person, and then getting ringed out. For example, we've seen a multitude of characters jump in and out of fights. When they fight someone, they either get pushed back and run away, or they just use a technique to get away, and then we don't see them again. Like, for example, we saw 18 and the female Pride Trooper. Like, early on in the beginning, they fought and they separated. And then we saw Goku in the Universe 4 little fighter when he fought Catella Spy. Out of the gate, he disappeared. So it's like, I would love for something to where Dispo gets away but doesn't get ringed out. And I don't think in my opinion Dispo gets rung out, because I want to see him fight at least one more dude to that same caliber, even if it's Frieza. I would like, if anything,
I want to see him. I want to see Frieza fight Toppo, and I want to see Dispo fight 17. I think that would be great, because because it's speed versus stamina.
Yes.
It's a perfect match. And Frieza versus Toppo would be hilarious to watch. You know, Justice versus Pure Evil, and then Goku and Jiren eventually is, like, you know, the main event. But I would love to just. We haven't seen anything from Toppo, let alone Frieza. I would like to see that matchup. And I think Dispo is 17 is a great fight.
They're keeping these dudes like far away, especially Frost and Frieza. When was the last time we saw?
Yeah, where's Frost?
Yo, we haven't seen Frost. All he did was ring out Krillin, and he Houdini'd his way out of it. Like, that was it.
And we still haven't seen the other two guys. We haven't seen anybody from Universe 6, really.
No, like the Namekians and stuff.
Kale. Yeah, Kaba hasn't fought yet.
Yeah, even Kale and Khalifa, like, they just vanished. It's like, I mean,
we got so them much. Though. We got 2 episodes. We got 2 episodes yet, but
there's like so much to give out here. It's like they're trying not to give you everything. But going into this, I just feel like the Frog has to go. But my final question to you is, like, just where do you see Super Saiyan God in all of this? Like, do you see him going blue once he's like, because if by some chance Super Saiyan God gets pushed back by Dispo and the other guy, which that'll create some controversy, but let's say, just based on hypotheticals, going off the preview with Goku getting, you know, kicked around and stuff, if by some chance he's forced to go blue after that, how would you feel about that? Do you see him going blue next week after God, or no? Because I mean, you'd be surprised.
Yo, I won't even listen, man. Like, if Goku as a Super Saiyan God gets pushed back, man, like, it's not gonna be surprising because Super Saiyan Blue's getting bodied recently. But at the same time, it's like, yo, you don't bring this form back just to get bodied. Like, we're about to say goodbye to it for good. So let's market it, bring it back, spoil it, and then he gets bodied. Like, nah, man. Like, I'm good. Thank you. Like, it was great knowing you guys. You know, like, you know, it was fun while it lasted. Nah, man. But honestly, I won't even do the video with you next week, bro. Like,
but you don't see him getting bodied?
I mean,
or do you?
Listen, I mean, obviously Goku's going to go God, Super Saiyan God, the same reason Vegeta did it against Black in the manga, right? So it's to conserve stamina. I'm pretty sure they're gonna talk about it. I'm pretty sure they're gonna mention it. Why is Goku utilizing that form? And if they make it seem like if they say it like that form, why is he resorting to that when Blue is stronger? It's like, well, gee, that sucks, because last time we checked, God overall, Super Saiyan God, had a lot more benefits to it.
Right.
Even explained in the manga, he doesn't have to worry about, you know, running out of stamina, running out of steam. He doesn't have to worry about taking damage.
Yeah.
The only way I could see him going blue is if he's attacking, right? Just like Vegeta did against Black. Like, if he was Super Saiyan God and then he went blue to attack. I don't see them doing that personally, because I really feel like they want to push Super Saiyan God next week. Which is amazing, by the way. But other than that, I mean, it's really, Goku's not gonna go all out. At the same time, he could, based on what we know, again, based on Super Saiyan God, we know that he could apply maximum effort without having to worry about getting tired. But if he's trying to restore X amounts of energy that he lost, as you know, prior to the fights prior, then I can understand why he may get, you know, kicked around here and there, but then eventually, you know, solidify the win with Hit.
I really think, because you brought it up, I think that at some point, if Hit doesn't eliminate somebody from that little squad that Dispo has there between him and the Frog, it'll be disappointing. I would love to see, you know, Hit just completely decimate the Frog after having to stop him potentially from using time skip multiple times, and finally for Hit to get his comeuppings and just throwing him out. That'd be great. Yeah. But I can't see, for Dispo it's kind of iffy, because the only person I could see, you know, throwing him out is probably Goku, if that's gonna be the engagement. But in terms of possibly seeing Jiren involved as well, because we do see him in the preview.
We saw him, yeah.
I think that the only thing he's gonna do is just watch from like a distance, or maybe get involved in some way, shape, or form. But I really can't see him throwing down yet. But I do think that it's possible for him to be there, watching this go down, just to study his opponents, just to see what he can learn from Hit, what he can learn from Goku. But by the end of it, I think that, in my opinion, the Frog is gonna go. And in terms of Goku utilizing Super Saiyan Blue, I don't think so. But it may be the last episode we see him use Super Saiyan God in, because just to go up against, you know, Dispo for the fact. But post your comments down below, guys. What are your overall thoughts on Super Saiyan God? What are your overall thoughts on Hit having trouble and being battle damaged? Like, he looks really hurt and surprised every time he kept getting grabbed and stuff. So leave your thoughts down below, guys. We want to know what you guys have to say. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, guys. Turn on notifications. Also, guys, check out Emish's channel. I will leave a link to that down below. Go on ahead and subscribe to him as well, guys. And I'll be seeing you all down in the comment section below. Have a great day, everybody. Peace.